Welcome to the MattyRocks experience and On the Road with MattyRocks, on location at Myth Nightclub in Maplewood, Minnesota. Joined with special guest Michael Paget, guitarist for Bullet for My Valentine, and Jay James, bassist for Bullet for My Valentine. How are you guys doing tonight?
What up? How's it going? Good, man.
Good.
Thanks for joining me.
No worries.
Pretty lengthy tour so far, if I've done my math right. It looks like it's a 48-stop tour, and this is your 21st stop. How's the tour going so far?
It's going great. It's we got some great support acts. We've run into a few festivals as well, which is always cool to change things up. And there's about 2 weeks left, I think. So we've been out here for 5 weeks already, and like you say, it's been a long one.
Yeah, but then we only get like 2 days at home to see our families. Then we go to like Poland, I think it is, or something. Yeah. So it's like relentless all year. We just tour in right up until Christmas.
Right on. So you guys are pretty much covering the globe.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Guys, if you would take MattyRocks listeners back to the early years of your lives in Wales, and give us some insight to how music and guitar playing and bass playing came into your guys' lives.
There was not many options growing up. There was either sort of education, sport, and I wasn't very good at either of those, so I chose music. And fortunately enough, we had a lot of friends, in a large group of friends, and everybody was kind of into music, whether it be guitar, drums, bass, bands, singing, and we just used to basically just hang out and play, and play all our favourite songs, Nirvana or whatever it was back then, and Metallica. Then we just eventually got into the original Bullet, which was called Jeff Killed John. Realised we had something, and started writing our own material, for the love of music.
Right on. What about you, Jay?
Basically the same, really. Like we've all grown up together through school. Like I've known most of the drummers since I was 3 years old. Like we've all known each other for about 25 years. We're like just like brothers. Like, so I was that like long-haired bleached-haired kid in school with the ripped jeans that was into Kurt Cobain kind of thing. We all were like, and like there was a big bunch of us, like 30 of us, which would go to like behind this derelict school and build a fire and just play guitars all night. That's basically what we did. So it just escalated from there. Like Pad said, like we were all like bouncing around bands in with each other, and different bands forming bands, and then this one formed and it just took off.
Very nice. Growing up, who were some of the musical influences who have helped shape who both of you are as musicians today?
For me, it was the whole Nirvana explosion. Like Jay said, I was bleaching my hair and ripping jeans, wearing cardigans, and like all of us were, it was this insane thing that kind of took over our lives, and really inspired us at the start. And then realizing your music is passion, you move on to other bands and other idols, and you eventually get to your Metallicas and your Panteras, and you kind of find yourself as you go along. But initially it was the whole Nirvana thing.
Yeah, same. Completely the same, really. I mean, like before everything, when I was just like a little baby, like my father would play like rock and roll, all the old rock and roll classics and stuff, and then my brother was into Queen and stuff. So I'd already had a good like listening to some great acts, and great artists. But then growing up, meeting up with everybody else in the metal world and stuff, I think my first album was Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses, which I just completely fell in love with. And then it was Metallica, and then Pantera, Deftones and all that. I was covering those bands in like little bands of my own, and I was like the lead vocalist kind of thing, which helped me to learn how to do what I do now, And basically those bands. And now the biggest influence on the bass would probably be Steve Harris.
Very nice. Iron Maiden, always a favorite to everyone.
Absolutely.
Early on, 1998, you guys formed Jeff Killed John, which later turned to Bullet for My Valentine. How did the whole Jeff Killed John project come to be?
Matt and Moose were in college, and they were in a band together with another bass player called Nick Crandall, and they were like sort of covering sort of new metal sort of songs, Nirvana songs, and working up to like the Metallica and they were like playing sort of college shows and, you know, really getting a little step ahead of the other bands at that time. And fortunately there was only one guitar player, so they asked me to join. So they kind of scouted me from my band, which is a terrible band, but it was okay for a laugh. And then eventually Nick ended up leaving for whatever were his reasons, and we scouted Jay from his band. So that's basically it, really.
Very nice. And how it's always interesting to find out how the names of bands come together. How did the name Jeff Kill John actually come to be? What's the story behind it, if there is one?
There was tutors in tech. There was like in the college the boys were in. One of the tutors his name was Jeff, or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. And somebody drew a picture of John Holmes, was it?
Something like that. And he tore it down, so it was like Jeff Kill John or something like that. Is it?
He kind of tore it down and scrambled it up because they were messing about in class.
Like, that's the very beginning. That's when we wasn't there yet, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't afford college, so.
Well, there you go. A little history behind the name. You guys, what prompted the name change from Jeff Kill John to Bullet for My Valentine?
We knew things were getting serious, and like, you know, we was like starting to make things work, you know, and there was like people getting really interested in us and like big labels and stuff, so we thought we needed like a serious name, like, you know, something that sums us up all in one. And like I wasn't there on the actual name thing, was like, because you was all in the pub doing like a brainstorming session when you writing all down on paper, and I was actually passed out at my friend's house on vodka, and they woke me up to tell me what the name of the band was. I was like, yeah, it's wicked.
Yeah, originally we were in a pub, like sort of brainstorming names. We needed a name. We needed something a bit more serious. That's kind of, you know, complemented what the songs were about, the lyrics, you know, and stuff. So I think it was Violence for My Valentine originally. Moose came up with that, and then like a couple of names down there was like Bullet something, and we were like, why didn't you just put that sort of word there? And it just ended up Bullet for My Valentine, and it, you know, it just. So right away, it was just like, that's the one.
I think we were calling ourselves Opportunity in Chicago at one point as well.
Very interesting. Good stories. How important was the beginning phase of Jeff Kill John that helped propel you guys into the Bullet for My Valentine era?
I think it was very important. You know, every band has a starting point, and fortunately for us, the guys were. I mean, initially we were playing covers, but they were a lot more interested in writing their own material, which I'd never done, and we just wanted to turn the band into a more serious, you know, thing, and just really get out there and play as many sort of battle of the bands as we could, and just prove ourselves really, and eventually, you know, with the name change, and we started getting a following down in London, which was when it all started happening, when people were coming to our shows and we weren't in our own country, you know. That was the game changer.
We had the drive and the thirst to be like the people that we listened to, you know. We wanted to be up on that stage. Like, I was looking at a huge festival when I used to go there in the UK, Reading Rock Festival, and I was like, one day I'm going to be on that stage, you know. And I didn't think at the time that it would happen, but like about 5 or 6 years later, like I was standing the other side looking out at it, and I was like, wow, I done it. Do you know what I mean? What an achievement, like.
Very nice. Early on, you guys were looked at by the well-known Roadrunner Records, which offered you a deal. Later on, you signed with Sony. What was that? Why that decision?
Well, we kind of grew up listening to Roadrunner bands, which was really weird, because I mean that would have been a perfect label for us in a sense. But you know, when we sort of put the deals side by side, the Sony one just blew it out of the water. And
there was actually a few different deals, wasn't it?
I think it was 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4. Like one night there's nothing, then next night we do a show, and it's like, wow, all these like labels are like, I want them, and they were all just giving us these deals, and the Sony's one was just the best one, so we thought we may as well take the best one.
How does that make you guys feel as a young group of guys having all these labels, you know, want you on their label? I mean, that's got to be a great feeling.
It's really scary though, because like, you know, we just dived into a world where it's like, who do we trust? Because now we got to hire all these people to handle all this stuff, like a lawyer. which lawyer do we have, like management, what management we go through. Like we're from Wales, we were like put in London and had to make all these decisions and hire all these people and like sign these bloody dotted lines and stuff, you know, and contracts and stuff. So we had to like pull our socks up and try and like think about things. And so, you know, we learned from mistakes then. Like we hired a certain management company first, which didn't work out for us, you know, and we had to like move on. And like I think now we've come to a point where we know a lot about the game and we've got a good family, like, you know.
Very nice. At the end of the day, a great decision, because a lot of successes have come from this. A lot of successes that we could spend hours talking about. So, Michael, Bullet for My Valentine has 3 of its original members. Jay, you're still in there with some long tenured time with the band. What is the key ingredient that keeps you guys successful and together to this day?
I think it's the brotherhood within the band. Like Jay said earlier, we've known each other for decades already, and we're all very, very close.
We're like family, you know.
Yeah,
we're like brothers, and like that means a lot when you're like stuck on a bus for 2.5 months together. You know, we can fight and argue, but it's just like brothers do.
Yeah, we've been through a lot together, and you know, we know what makes each other tick, and we know what not to do, and then put that together with passion and drive, and you know, because we're all still so hungry for success, you know.
Very nice. Keep it all together.
Yeah.
Together, you guys have all contributed to the release of 4 successful studio albums. Which one do you guys are you most proud of, and why? And which one do you hold as the flagship release that represents Bullet for My Valentine the best?
I think The Poison was the flagship release. That was the one that really sort of broke the band, and even to this day, people still, you know, I mean, they tweet or, you know, ask for songs of The Poison or make the new record like The Poison or whatever. But from a musician point of view, I'm really proud of this new one, Temper Temper, because it really displays what we can do. And
we've opened up to another audience, haven't we?
Yeah, so first and last, which is weird.
There you go. Temper Temper, your most recent release. How is that release doing so far, and what is the fans' perception of it?
Initially, it was very mixed. We released a giveaway track, which the management and the label just wanted to go with because of the reaction at radio and stuff, and the fans started kicking off and saying, what is this crap, and this isn't Bullet for My Valentine. But I think now that the album's actually released and they've had a chance to listen to the entire thing, I think you know, they kind of hold in their tongues a little bit.
It's more radio friendly as well. It's like the most we've ever been played on, like, you know, the most popular radio station in the UK. Like, we were on like next to Britney Spears and stuff, wasn't it? Like, it was Riot was on, and like Temper Temper on like main time radio, like when everyone's listening. It was like, wow, and it was on all the time as well. So like, pretty proud for that, like, you know.
Very nice. I want you guys to think back throughout your career so far. And I want you to pick out the defining moment when you guys knew you made it.
I think it was in Donington, 2006, was it? We played the second stage, the Snicker stage it was called back then, and we only had an EP released at that time.
Yeah.
And that was the first time we actually heard our songs getting sung back to us. And it was a packed out tent as well, which was mind blowing for us, you know, because we've only played smaller stages up to that point, and obviously with no release. But I think that was the point where, you know, the shivers down your back and your hair stands on end when you just hear people singing back to you. I'll never forget that.
And we were in a van driving ourselves as well, weren't we? Because we had to drive all night. We got there like at 6 o'clock in the morning listening to Stuck Mojo, going, yeah, drinking like that we're going to play it. Like, was the Hand of Blood single out on TV then?
I think so.
Because that's when I realised, because nobody would believe us back home that we just signed a deal and stuff, and we just went and done the Hand of Blood video. And when that came on the TV, and there was a magazine out with us on the front cover, that's when I was like, wow, it's happening.
Moments you'll never forget.
No, absolutely.
You've had the opportunity to tour all over the world, and with many different bands. Where would you say is your favorite place to play, and one of the most memorable bands that you've graced the stage with?
Favorite place to play? I mean, the UK is always good because it's technically our home territory. But
we just love tearing it up everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, nice is like Australia is nice because it's got everything, weather and stuff, and the people are cool. You know, everyone's cool, and we like playing everywhere. But probably like for me, Sunset Strip and Australia, like it's just partying it. Great.
And I think the band is, for all of us, really, is Metallica. You know, we've been fortunate enough to go and play with those guys a few times, and they've even asked us up on stage to
Sing So What
in Estonia, which was insane.
So we were just jumping around the stage, and I was like so hyped. I forgot to actually sing the bloody choruses, and he was pointing at me saying "sing," and all the lyrics were on stage and everything. But yeah, that was a crazy moment. Like touring with Iron Maiden as well, you know, Piers, and we finally get to talk to them. Like, and it's crazy because when we done that tour, like we'd be Iron Maiden's children would be on the side of the stage, fans of our band, watching us, and then we'd be on the side of the stage for their father's band, watching their band because we're fans of them. It was awesome.
Very nice. Pre-concert rituals. Do you guys have any?
Just warming up, really. If I can, I'll sneak a beer, but you know, as long as I'm nice and warm and there's blood in the fingers, just go out there and smash it. You know.
Yeah, I spend a good hour just thrashing out the bass before I go on, try and do some vocal like warm-ups and stuff.
There's no sort of praise or knuckles snapping or anything.
We just all do our thing and then go on and smash it.
Right on. Michael, you play ESP Guitars. Talk about your relationship with ESP and what it means to you to be a part of that successful family of guitars.
It's awesome, you know. The original A&R guy, Alan, who's unfortunately not with them anymore, but he approached me. They gave me an endorsement deal, and Dave Mustaine's guitar back then was the one I was using. So I mean, it felt and played great and sounded really good. It was called a DV8, and he left the company. So Alan's like, "Hey buddy, do you want to put your name on a guitar?" So I was like, "Well, the same one?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can have it." So I mean, they've done so much for me. They've been so cool. You know, we lost a few guitars in Sandy. Was it back last year? You know, a lock-up in New Jersey, and you know, I mean, they always deliver. They, you know, if we ask them anything, they'll just give whatever they can to me, and you know, I don't think I'll ever leave, really. Even if someone offered me sort of a better contract or more money or whatever, I think, you know, they've been so cool to me. I really want to stay part of the family as long as possible.
Very nice. What does the future hold for Bullet for My Valentine?
Well, like Pat was saying earlier, we're still thirsty. We're still hungry for the top. I mean, I guess we're hoping for the next thing, for us to be where, you know, the big boys are now, like, for us to hopefully take over, you know, and be that band which is headlining every single festival and every stage, just fly in and do that, you know. That's next for us, I think, and we're still hungry for it.
Yeah. Although the state of the music business at the moment, but we've actually only got one more album on our current deal, so it's going to be, the next couple of years are going to be very interesting.
Very nice. We look forward to more stuff. So you guys have the opportunity to send a message out to MattyRocks listeners all around the world and around the United States, everywhere. What would you guys like to say?
Just thanks for supporting Bullet. If you can, come out to the show, pick up the album, buy a t-shirt.
And we'll see you in the pit, man. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy tour schedule for sitting down and talking with me. It was truly an honor to talk with you guys. Continued success to both of you guys and the rest of the members of Bullet for My Valentine. You've heard it here, MattyRocks listeners, on the road with MattyRocks with Michael Paget and Jay James of Bullet for My Valentine. MattyRocks out.
Nice one, guys. Thanks a lot.